Hey guys, Adamandi here once more. So last month we saw the release of the Samsung Galaxy S10. There's also the S10e, S10 Plus. But then it brought about this new technological advancement, which was the in-display fingerprint under the display. Well, yes, I know that's not really new tech, but then this one is called the ultrasonic fingerprint reader. Now, Samsung says it's different from like the one we've seen on the OnePlus 6T, which is an optical fingerprint reader, but how different is it? So, this one uses sound to determine your fingerprint. So, the one in the OnePlus 6T was using light. So like if you place your finger to the fingerprint sensor, it like have to go to maximum brightness, like total maximum brightness to be able to read your fingerprint. And sometimes it still wouldn't be able to get it, especially if there was something like dirt on your fingers. But now Samsung claims that the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor can read your fingerprint through dirt, mud, water, any kind of impurities on your hand. So, what is this fingerprint all about? Okay, so to start with, the fingerprint sensor uses sound, like I said before. So, how does it work? It works like this. When you place your fingerprint to the glass, it projects sound onto your fingerprint, and the sound like reads the patterns of your hand and then like sends it backwards to the sensor thing. Big grammar. Okay, best way to explain this is, have you ever stood next to a very powerful speaker? Okay, apart from the fact that it's going to damage your ears, you're also going to feel a little bit of impulse on your hand. Like you're going to feel like as though something hit you, right? Now that's sound, and it's like that heavy. So like you feel it hit you, almost like as though someone threw something at you. But in this case, that's the ultrasonic fingerprint reader's case, it projects very, very silent sound. Like it's so silent you can't even hear it. Now, it reaches your fingers. Now, because your fingerprints are like ridges inside, so there's like this little depression. So once the sound gets there, it moves in a little bit, hits the surface of your skin, while the other sound that's also around the skin has started going back already. The sound that went into the ridges will come back a bit later. So that will give the fingerprint sensor a sort of map of your finger. This is just like basically me trying to break it down so you get what the fingerprint sensor actually does, because it's sort of causing some sort of confusion for some people. Now, this fingerprint sensor can only sense through a certain amount of glass. It can't just like sense through every single type of glass you bring across it. So you can't expect to put more glass on top of it and hope that it will sense through. Android Authority made an article about this. They said it can only read through about 800 micron meters of glass. Is that micron? Whatever, it's the U thing symbol. Okay, so if you add more glass on top of it, the sensor, or rather the sound, will not be able to penetrate through the extra layer of glass, so you won't be able to read your fingerprint. That's exactly why you can't add a glass fingerprint on top of the Samsung Galaxy S10 or any of the variants. Okay, apart from the S10e that doesn't use the fingerprint sensor. What is the difference between light and sound? because we know that by physics, they say light is faster and sound is supposed to be much slower than that. But then how come that an ultrasonic fingerprint reader is faster than an optical fingerprint reader? Like, that makes no sense. Okay, now it's not really that the light is not fast enough to read the fingerprint. It's more about that method I was telling you about. The fingerprint has to be read with maximum light shining on your fingerprint. So with maximum light actually shining on your fingerprint, it can sometimes misread. Okay, take for example, if someone shines a full bright torch right at your eye, you're going to close it because you are trying to like shield your eye. But then you go to an eye doctor's place and they are going to shine this very bright torch in your eyes, searching for whatever God knows you're searching for. And that time you mustn't close your eyes. So try to apply that to the optical fingerprint sensor. So the times when it misreads, that's practically the time when your fingerprint is like, my God, this light is too bright, and then like shuts itself up a little. Just take it like that. It's not exactly what happens, but you can sort of get the idea of what I'm trying to say. It's okay, let me just make it more technical. So maybe you overpressed your finger to the fingerprint sensor. You're going to find out that some of the patterns on your fingerprint will get smeared on the glass, and because light isn't sensitive enough to know that this is a fingerprint and this is just normal skin, so it's not going to be able to differentiate the two. So it's just going to tell you there's an error until you place it correctly. Another difference between the two is the amount of force required before you can activate them. Like an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor uses like very minimal force. It's almost like that light. So you don't even need to like press it in to get it to work. Light might require you to put a bit more force, because if you touch it too light, it won't agree. If you touch it too fast, the light will not be able to read it. But if you touch a fingerprint sensor, like, it will still work, because sound, it's not like trying to activate a full brightness light first before it gets your fingerprint. It just moves, and since sound is fast, it's going to get to your hand before practically you even remove it. That's that. Then the amount of time it takes for the activation process to start. I believe recording your fingerprint on an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor is much faster than an optical one. And then there's also this disadvantage of this pinkish thing on your screen because of way too much usage of full brightness light. But you can live with that. Okay, so is the fingerprint sensor a good idea? Yeah, it is. I think it can go through some improvements though. Maybe they can actually use infrared to like shine a light on your hand. I think that would be faster, since infrared, I don't think that needs a full brightness light to work. Hey, I'm no scientist. I'm just a guy who talks on TV. Did I just say TV? Okay, so there's that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want more, and hope for more. Thanks.